In 1990, at Stanford University, there was a very interesting experiment conducted by a psychology student named Elizabeth Newton. In that experiment, she invited her friends and peers at the college to join her. The participants played one of the two roles, either the tapper or the listener. Now, for the tapper, they were given a list of the very popular melodies like Happy Birthday to You or Jingle Bell, Jingle All the Way. And their job was to use the finger tapping out the rhythm of the melody on the table. For the listener, all they had to do was to listen and try to guess the name of the melody correctly. However, before they guessed it, Elizabeth privately asked the tappers to predict how many percent would they think the listener could guess correctly. And the tappers replied that 50%. So they went on conducting the experiment, the tappers tapping out the melodies and the listener trying to guess the name. At the end of the experiment, the result was that over 120 melodies was tapped out. Only 3 of them was guessed correctly. The success ratio, which is 2.5%. Now the tappers was really surprised. Such a very simple melody. How couldn't they guess correctly? And only 3 out of 120. It was later explained that for the tappers, because they know the melodies very well and it was clearly playing in their head. Therefore, when the finger was tapping the melody, they were in perfect sync with what was playing in their head. For the listener, however, they had no idea what was happening because the melody was not playing in their head. So although they tried as hard as they may, they just couldn't make any sense out of the tapping. Now, this experiment helps me relate to an issue about communication, whether to our friends or colleagues, or even our customers. That although we may have 100% clarity in our head of what we want them to do, and we tell them and they try their best, but the result is not exactly what we are looking for. And this can cause a lot of frustration for both sides. Learning from this experiment, perhaps we can ask ourselves, who is the problem? Perhaps we, the tappers, are the problem. Because when we have it clear in our head, we may assume that would be clear as well in the listener's head. And from the experiment, that is not always true. So maybe next time, when your friends, your colleagues, or your customers say to you that they don't understand what you are saying, perhaps don't lose your temper. Don't get irritated. Be more specific. Ask them what have they understood, and then we can clarify based on that. Because what is playing in the tapper's head might not be playing in the listener's head.